Hey YouTube, welcome back to the Aristotle Class channel, and it is me, Drip Kage, here with another video. And well, in today's video, we're doing part 2, excuse the voice crack, part 2 of What If Naruto got 6 Passage Mode early.
Hey, hey, stoner thoughts buzzing up my brain, wondering if I'll make it or am I going insane. And then everybody they tell me I should stay in my lane, but my best is yet to come, so I swear to God I'ma stay. Yeah, baby, hit me up with
In the other video, I said What If Naruto became God of Shinobi earlier. I couldn't really decide on the title, but I've decided it's going to be that. So, let's get into it. Alright, so basically, this story starts off with Naruto and Jiraiya heading back to Konoha. Now, on their way back, Jiraiya will tell Naruto that they're going to use the rest of the time left. So Naruto was supposed to complete his training when he was around 15, but he is currently around 12. So Jiraiya will tell Naruto that he's going to take him on a 3-year training trip, and will continue on with his training. So, well, not really necessarily a training trip. Yeah, necessarily it's a training trip. And they would head to Konoha to give the report saying that they're finished with their, their original training, but they're going to use the rest of the years so that Naruto, be ready and everything for his heritage to be announced. Because Naruto is supposed to be the showcase of the next Chunin exams that is in Konoha, which is around the age of 15. So yes, I have aged everything up. So yes, the story doesn't truly start off until Naruto's around 15 years old. Anyways, so after giving a report to Hiruzen and telling him that they're leaving again to go travel for Naruto to complete his training trip, mostly on Mount Miyaboku, Hiruzen will tell Jiraiya that he will have to split his train. He will have to figure out how to run his spy network, actually, and split his training with Naruto and going with the spy network. Jiraiya will tell the old man that he'll figure something out, but at the moment he's just going to enjoy this time with Naruto. So Jiraiya and Naruto will head to a clothing store. Now, no one will really recognize Naruto because over time, yes, he has grown his hair out a little bit longer than what his which will normally be, a lot longer. Anyways, it'll be a lot longer than what it was in canon, ever was in the canon. Anyways, so no one would truly recognize Naruto. So when they would go in, Jiraiya would end up getting Naruto some black black shinobi pants with a black shirt that has the little bands on the sleeves just like Minato's, along with placing an order for some more for Horatian kunais. As yes, if you can see, this is where I'm going to be going. So Jiraiya will tell Naruto that they're going to be leaving Konoha, and will tell the man that he will be back in Konoha in a couple weeks for him to pick up the order of the kunais and everything. So Jiraiya will tell Naruto they will head out of Konoha, but Jiraiya has made a clone secretly to go to Minato's compound to retrieve the Horatian scroll. Where only Jiraiya truly knows where it's at. Not even the third Hokage knows. No one can reach it but Jiraiya, or maybe Naruto if Jiraiya was to tell him where it was at. So after a clone drops in front of Naruto and Jiraiya on their way out of the fire country, Naruto will question what was the clone doing. Jiraiya will tell him he was retrieving something, and they will continue on. So Jiraiya will tell Naruto that he's most likely going to take him to Mount Miyaboku, but they have to meet up with an informant. As Naruto would say that that's fine, that he's okay with meeting with an informant and everything, as long as they hurry up and get his training done. So Jiraiya and Naruto walk into a bar and would sit down. Where they would meet, Naruto will see that it's a man with black hair, and his eyes are red with a pinwheel pattern. with three tomos in it. Yes, it's basically it's known as Jiraiya then as Itachi. Ah, it's great to see you. How has it been? It's been good, Jiraiya. That's good. I take it your training is completed. No, not yet. He has not yet mastered it. As Naruto looks at Jiraiya, you know, weirdly, because Jiraiya basically just lied to his own informant, but Naruto won't judge Jiraiya and won't say anything. Because they could possibly ruin Jiraiya's relationship. So Itachi would tell him this, the members so far. Being a man by the name of Juzo, then there's Orochimaru, a man who goes by the name of Pain. I'm gonna say he has not yet met Conan. A man that go Sasori of the Red Sand basically, and others that they're still recruiting. As he would say, and their true leader, Madara Uchiha. Now Naruto ears would poke up at this because the QB told him something about Madara. Anyways, as you know, Naruto began to listen more into this conversation. Says, so, you sure that it is truly Madara? I don't know. He could just be claiming to be, but his power surely shows that it could be Madara Uchiha. Keep an eye on him. As Jiraiya then said, let's go. Naruto will nod and will bow to Itachi and will begin to leave. As when they exit the restaurant and go into the alley, they will reverse. Jiraiya will reverse summon them to Mount Miyaboku. But Jiraiya will begin Naruto's training on completing the Rasengan. Now Naruto is 12 years old at this point, so mastering completing the Rasengan will take him a lot longer. And he wasn't truly as in a rush as he was when he created it. So, you know. So moving on, Naruto would basically go on to start training on basically mastering his wind element. I don't. Did I? Never mind. So this is where we get into a year time skip. Now Naruto has fully mastered the Rasen Shuriken and everything. And when I mean fully mastered, I mean by adding all of the Kike Genkai that the Six-Pack Sage Mode offers him, that the other Tail Beast offer him, all using all of their abilities into the, into the Rasen Shuriken, like a Tail Beast Bomb, Rasen Shuriken, things like that. As Jiraiya then tells Naruto that his training is complete for the moment on this, but there's one last technique that will most likely take the next 2 years of Naruto's life, or probably the next couple of years of Naruto's life to master, to learn and master. As Jiraiya will give Naruto some kunai and say that these are his father's 3-pronged kunai. Naruto says, yeah, I see why he likes them, but I don't like them very much. Could you make a special for me? How so? I wanted to still show that I'm honoring my father, so take off the 2 prongs and just do the kunai with the cork thing, without the prongs. So imagine that. This is what Naruto's Shiraishi kunai will look like. Anyways, try to say, I'll have those made as soon as possible. For now, you'll have to learn to throw it with these. Naruto says, right. First, we're gonna have to get you right when it comes. Well, actually, we should give you working on the formula, because if you were to train your body to use these, then you wouldn't be able to adjust to yours. So I want you to train and learn your father's Shiraishi by creating your own new seal. Naruto says, I got that. So Naruto will begin working on a seal, experimenting with new seals, because a seal, like the kanji the handle of the kunai don't have to say doesn't can say anything Naruto wanted to, but it just has to be made up of seals. So Naruto has decided to make it, the damn. Let me. As Naruto was really having difficulty on picking a name for his seal, when Naruto thinks of Kona thinks of Orange Fox Flash. That's gonna be the name that's or the words that's on there, and he's gonna have it spelled out with separate seals that allow him to do it. So after picking out his seals, well, his name for the words that's gonna be on his kunai seal, Naruto would go over his father's seals and would do the seals separately. He would have to go through all 2,000 separate 2,000 of the seals separately to basically decipher his father's one. Well, not really decipher, but just find out what each one does, and would then have to put it together in his own special way. So about like a year or like 2 years later, Naruto has finally gotten his seal and everything corrected. He has fully mastered this jutsu, with it taking less chakra than it would for his father. With it being giving off a orange flash instead of a yellow flash to signify his with his father and his mother and his favorite color, which being orange. So when he is done, Jiraiya would tell Naruto that it is finally time, and would ask Naruto, did he finally finish it? Because the last time Jiraiya saw Naruto was like a week ago, and Naruto would tell Jiraiya that he finally finished it. Jiraiya would nod and would then give Naruto something that he thinks looks very familiar. As Naruto seen it in pictures with the fourth Hokage, he was give him basically, I believe it's called a Hayori. That's orange with black flames on the bottom. That says the orange fox flash on the back. She says, "Now, kid, you are ready. Let us go." Naruto smiles, and Jiraiya and Naruto reverse summon themselves back into the world of the living. I'm just kidding. Back into the out of Mount Miyaboku and somewhere back into Fire Country. So Jiraiya and Naruto will make their trip back to Fire Country for Naruto to be enrolled, well, not technically enrolled, to help him graduate so that he can become a genin, so that he could be showcased at the next Chunin is out. But yes, Naruto is to be enrolled into the academy. So getting into like a week time skip, they finally arrive in Konoha, and Naruto and Jiraiya are currently in the Hokage's office. Now Hiruzen was shocked to see Naruto. Naruto looks a lot more like his father, but he tells Naruto to hide his bangs and everything under Genjutsu so that he doesn't look more like his father, because he wants that to be hidden and to not wear the cape or his Hayori. So Naruto would agree to this, as he would also tell Naruto that it will probably be best if his sensei ever sees this, like his Jonin sensei, to tell him that it's just a shanshin with a special color to add to it, that you use a kunai to help guide you. As Naruto would say, that's actually a pretty good idea for a cover-up. He says, "Yeah, I know. I am the professor, after all." Not his professor, my ass. Anyways, moving on, Naruto then goes on and to ask Hiruzen to enroll him into the academy. To which Hiruzen will say that he's already been enrolled, that he's just been on hold by the Hokage. Well, that his enrollment or his absences and everything has been on hold by the Hokage. Telling Naruto that he's had him on hold so that he can he'll be the dead last and be put with the top student, because the person who's going to be training Sasuke is someone special to his father. And he also doesn't want Naruto to tell that man that he knows who his parents are, because he might start showing favoritism to Naruto. Naruto would say, "It is fine," as he would say, Naruto, that you have, the next 3 weeks to roll around Konoha to get used to it again, before you have to go to team introductions. As Naruto says, "All right, I'm ready. I'll be ready then." So Naruto begins to roll around, walk around Konoha, where he walks into a flower shop, where Naruto sees one of the most beautiful girls he's ever seen in his life. Naruto sees that she has blonde hair, and he's, well, the very, very beautiful light blue eyes. As Naruto walks in and says, um, hey, as Naruto begins to stutter, the girl said, "Oh wow, you're pretty cute. What's your name?" Naruto says, I'm Naruto. Oh hey Naruto. Are you new to the village? I've never seen you around. Naruto says, "Not really, but yeah." Huh, that's pretty vague. And she says, "So what can I help you with?" As Naruto says, "Nothing. I was just wandering around." She says, "Oh, wow." Well, I can see that you're a ninja. How long have you been a ninja? Oh, just recently. I'm going to graduate with the graduating class here in the next 3 weeks. Oh, that's my class. Yeah, have fun trying to compete with the Rookie of the Year, Sasuke. Naruto says, I think I will. It's not so Spriggs. He says, "Can I get your name?" "Oh, I'm Ino Yamanaka. It's very nice to meet you." "It's nice to meet you too." So as Inoichi begins to appear, he says, "So he's back. I promise between their parents, might be able to be saved." He says, "Yeah, they might be able to." As Mom says, "All right, come on, let's stop spying. I heard Naruto. I know you want to come back down to see if it was truly him, but yes." "Now let work." "Fine." "I will." As Naruto then tells that he'll see her later, probably around Tina's team assignments, if she makes it, or if she graduates. As he then tells her good luck and begins to leave. As an Anbu appears in front of Naruto. As he says, "You're Naruto Uzumaki, right?" Naruto will nod, as the Anbu will grab Naruto. It will pull him into an alleyway, take his mask off him, and then give Naruto a hug, saying, "The Hokage never told me where you were all these years, but I'm glad you're back in Konoha." Naruto says, "Yeah, random person. But is there a reason why you needed me?" "Oh, right. The Hokage's asked me to bring you to him." Naruto says, "All right, I guess." As Naruto and then heads to the Hokage's office with this Anbu who goes by the name of Inu. As when they arrive, he was able to say, "Ah, oh, Naruto, I'm here to give you the deed to your parents' house." Now, Kakashi is too far away to hear any of this. And says, "Oh, thank you." As he says, "No problem. But make sure you don't invite too many people there." Naruto says, "I won't. Only invite those who I truly trust." "Good. We wouldn't want anyone to figure it out that the yellow flash of the sun then was to spread the news." And says, "Yeah, but it's not like I'm not strong enough to handle it." "Yeah, I guess." Naruto. Well, anyway, be on your way. As this is where we have yet another time skip. Naruto is currently at the academy waiting to be put on a team. As Iruka then says, "Alright, everyone. These are the final three teams. Team 7. Sasuke Uchiha. Sakura Haruno." Sakura says, "Oh, man. Hold on, wait a minute. Oh, yeah. I forgot it was Sakura instead of Naruto." Anyways, as he would then say, "Naruto Uzumaki." Now, this will get the entire class to, look up and saying, "Naruto?" She says, "I haven't heard about that kid. I haven't seen him since, we were 5. She says, "Alright, you guys, your teacher wanted the Hokage's monument. On top of the Hokage's monument. As, Sasuke and Sakura will stand up." She says, as they say, Iruka Sensei, where's our teammate?" As Iruka points behind them. As behind them stands a kid that's pretty tall, stands at around 5'11". Almost five, let's say 5'12", almost 6 foot, with blonde hair and blue eyes, with whisker marks on each of his cheeks. Naruto says, "Let us go." As they disappear in the sunshine, Shino says, "So cool." As Naruto and them appear towards the Hokage monument, as Kakashi says, "You made it." Naruto says, "Yes." Well, let's get into it. So, a couple days later, there's really majority of everything doesn't change, except for the fact is Naruto doesn't like Sakura, and Sakura doesn't hate Naruto. She doesn't even truly know Naruto. So nothing really changes. So moving on, the team will start their direct missions. Now on the third day, Naruto will ask Hiruzen for a solo mission. Now Hiruzen, had was given reports by Jiraiya saying that Naruto should be on par with most high Jonin to low Kage opponents. Hiruzen would decide to give Naruto a solo C rank escort mission. Would tell him that the last minute will decide that he shouldn't take his Jonin sensei. Naruto would then say, "Fine, that it'll be alright." As he would then ask Hiruzen what type of mission is it. Hiruzen would tell him that it's a it's a escort mission to escort a bridge builder back to the land of waves, or Nami no Kuni. So Naruto will accept the mission and will go on to grab Kakashi to bring him to the mission room to be debriefed on the mission as they were set up. Kakashi says, "So the Hokage trusted you with an almost solo mission." Naruto says, "Yes." "Well, let's hope our teamwork is pretty good, Naruto." Naruto says, "Yes, let's." As they meet their client and set out for the land of waves. So they would get to the land of waves with no hitch, because think again, this is a lot earlier than normal. So, Tazuna left a lot earlier than what he did in canon. So Gato hasn't really got wind of this. He hasn't got wind of this to send out an assassin or anything. So they would arrive to the land, not the Hidden Wave Village, the land of waves, pretty, without a hitch, without any, attacks or anything. As Naruto would then say, "Wow, I really didn't need you, Kakashi." Kakashi says, "No, you didn't. But, oh well. I'm pretty sure your teammates can handle the D-ranks without you and me for a couple days. Or like 2-3 weeks at most." Naruto says, "Yeah. But I feel bad for leaving Sasuke with Sakura." "Yes, you and I both. As Naruto and Kakashi began sparring for training until, Tazuna is ready to start back up his bridge. Now, Gato gets word of this and then decides to come to Tazuna's house. Now, he would arrive. Naruto and Kakashi would be inside. As two of Gato's thugs will grab Tazuna and will throw him out, causing Naruto to get up. As Naruto would then sneak up behind Gato and would hold the kunai to his throat, saying, "What are you doing here?" As Gato says, "Let go of me. Do you know who I am?" Naruto says, "No. That's why I'm holding a kunai to your throat. Let go of the man and I'll let you live. Do it." The man will let go. As Naruto will then grab Gato's arm and he says, "It's just for bothering him." As Naruto will break Gato's arm because she says, "Pretty brutal." As Gato, the last thing Gato sees was Naruto's eyes, which are flashing red with a slit in them. Yes, the Kaibi kind of took over for this one. Anyways, Gato says, "I'll be back." As he walks away, as he begins to run away, holding his arm. As Gato decides to hire a mercenary by the name of Zabuza Momochi to handle the shinobi and Tazuna, the bridge builder. So a couple days later, while on the bridge, a thick mist would be enveloped. A thick mist would basically be would envelop the bridge. As Naruto says, "Wow, didn't think he would hire someone. Thought I scared him off." Kakashi said, "I thought you did too, but I guess not. He's a pretty persistent man." Naruto says, "Who all can make mist?" The Hidden Mist Village, but they're currently in a civil war. The only people out of the Hidden Mist Village are Rogue Shinobi, and only three are Raiga, Zabuza Momochi, and Kisame Hoshigaki. But let's see who this is. As Kakashi will then feel it, and so will Naruto, a man sneaks up behind him. Kakashi says, "Figured it out. It's Zabuza Momochi." As he will tell Naruto to try to dissipate the wind, as Naruto began to go through hand signs. As he would then pulse his chakra. As all that chakra then begins to flow into Naruto. So Naruto would then holding the hand sign as he says, "Wind style, exploding wind barricade." Or dome. I like dome. Exploding with dome. As all the chakra that he sucked back into himself compacted and then exploded. As he converted it into wind. And blew away the entirety of the mist. As Kakashi would say, "I was right." He says, "That's a new trick of yours." As the person would land right next to not Gato, Zabuza. He would say, "Master Zabuza, do you want me to take care of him?" Zabuza says, "Yes, and please." As the masked man would begin to run towards Kakashi, he says, "No, not that one." As the masked man the person begins to already engage Kakashi. Zabuza says, "I guess you're mine." Naruto says, "I guess I am, but don't be too afraid for what I might do to you." As Naruto begins to grab a kunai, Zabuza somewhat recognizes the kunai but doesn't. He can't place his finger on what it looks like. As Naruto grabs the kunai and throw it at Zabuza. Anyways, Naruto would then form a spiraling spear into his arm. Well, into his hand, not into his arm. As Kakashi would be too preoccupied with his fight and using his Sharingan to notice this. As Naruto will begin to add his wind chakra, as the Rasengan began to evolve into his wind style Rasengan. As Naruto would disappear, as he would appear behind Zabuza. As Zabuza reacts fast enough to bring up his kunai. Well, not his kunai, his sword, to block the incoming Rasengan, which shatters the sword in half. Zabuza says, "You broke my sword." As Zabuza nicks himself with his own sword for it to drip enough blood on it for it to regrow or remake itself. She says, "I'll kill you for this." As Naruto then runs up to Zabuza, as he then kicks him straight up to the air with like a foot to the both hands on the ground, and then kicks him straight up by kicking his foot up to the chin. As he then places a kunai on the ground. As Naruto would then place a kunai, well not place a kunai, would then throw a kunai above Zabuza. As Naruto will make the famous Shadow Clone hand sign. Naruto will say Shadow Clone Jutsu. As Naruto would have disappeared up to the kunai that he just threw. As a normal Rasengan would appear. As Naruto then jams this Rasengan straight into Zabuza's back as the clones jams it into Zabuza's gut. Creating, making Zabuza stuck between both Rasengans, doing increasingly more damage. Now Haku begins to scream Zabuza-sama as he tries to run towards Zabuza. But this gives Kakashi an opening as Kakashi then hits Haku with a lightning blade. As Naruto, it ends up legit paralyzing Zabuza. Naruto says, "I'm so very sorry for this. But if I were to allow you to live and somehow recover, you would then tell people about my secrets. And I cannot allow those secrets to be let out yet." So Naruto takes his kunai that he placed into the ground and jabs it directly into Zabuza's brain. Twists it and then yanks it out, causing Zabuza to fall to the ground. Kakashi wonders how could Naruto kill so effortlessly. Naruto says, "Come on, Kakashi. We need to find out what Gato's base is. Otherwise, she's going to continuously send Miss Ninja after, or continuing to send ninjas after us." As Kakashi would say, "Right." As Kakashi and Naruto will both disappear into a sunshine to appear back at Tazuna's house. As Kakashi will ask Tazuna where is Gato's base at. As Tazuna will say that Gato's base is like a hour's walk for civilians walk all the way up there. As Kakashi at the top of that hill. As Kakashi will nod and will tell Naruto to hurry that they can make it within a minute. So like a minute later, they will be in civilian shinobi's paces is a lot different, especially when one can move at high Jonin paces. As Naruto and Kakashi arrive at the base, Naruto will knock on the door. As a man would appear. As Naruto would then shove a kunai into the little eye hole. Like it's like one of those things where they slide it open and there's like a little slit, like a big slit that's, that you can see eyes. And Naruto would shove his kunai in there, killing the man. So Naruto would then kick down the door and Kakashi and Naruto would go throughout Gato's base, basically killing all of his men, leaving none of them alive. As Naruto then is forced out of the window by one of Gato's men. As Naruto sees a gigantic room, or basically the top floor, but he sees that it has gigantic windows. As Naruto throws his kunai through those windows before he can hit the ground, as he disappears in an orange flash. I kept saying yellow, but it's an orange flash. As Naruto appears above Gato, as Gato says, "How did you?" As Naruto then grabs the kunai, throws him, and kills all of Gato's men before they can come and attack him. Naruto drops down to the floor. So he grabs Gato and says, "Your reign of tyranny is over. I cannot allow you to subjugate an entire country to your will. So, goodbye, Gato." So Naruto jabs a kunai into. As Naruto rips the kunai out of Gato and says, "May you rest in hell." As Naruto then performs a fireball jutsu. And, well, basically burns Gato's body. But takes something as evidence to confirm that Gato is dead. So Kakashi will go through the rest of the house and we'll meet up and we'll bust into the doors and we'll be ready to fight when he sees Naruto's already there. As he says, "Is it taken care of?" Naruto says yes. As Naruto gets Gato's pimp cane. And they begin to head off to Tazuna. They give it to Tazuna and tell him that they can raid Gato's base for all the money he has now. That Gato is no longer alive and he no longer needs it. But when he asks how, Naruto will show him the cane and will say that he's going to need it for when they expose Gato. so that he can collect the bounty that's on Gato's head. Just expose him out and don't tell anyone that he's dead. As you know, Tarzan would agree and would say, "Well, thank you." As Naruto tells Kakashi that they should leave now. So Kakashi asks Naruto, "Why isn't he at least?" He could tell from his overall skill, especially since he defeated Zabuza, that he's at least joning or tuning in skill, maybe joning, but at least joning in pure overall skill. Why isn't he at least tuning? As Naruto says, the Hokage wanted to showcase me at the next tuning. Well, this has been in motion for years. I was supposed to be showcased at the next tuning exams at Konoha, which is this year's. So they're gonna have me implant my team into this one. Yes. Well, hope you have fun on your first A rank missions. What are you talking about? This is a C rank. This is as well. When Zabuza and Momochi got involved, it became an A rank. That's just sweet. Alright, let's head back to Konoha. Naruto and Kakashi head back to Konoha and will give a mission brief to Zabuza. So Hiruzen, as Hiruzen will congratulate them and tell Kakashi that his team has been pre-nominated. Like all Kakashi has to do is, go on and get his team to do more more D rank missions. It tells Naruto that he'll have to break off because he's technically already qualified for the tuning exams. Naruto will thank Hiruzen. As Kakashi and then will continue to Naruto has to break from missions, not from training. He doesn't have to do missions with Sakura and Sasuke, which they complain about, but it's understandable. They yet don't know about Naruto's A-rank mission. So one night when Naruto is walking throughout the village, he will hear an alarm. It would go and would know that this alarm coming from the Hokage's tower. So when he will land on the roof of the Hokage's tower, he will sense a bunch of ninjas presence up there. As the Hokage would say, Mizuki has stolen the sacred scroll. You are to kill him immediately and bring the scroll back. As they all nod as Hiruzen says, Naruto, I need you to find him and kill him. I don't think any of them will be able to find him. Not yet. Naruto will nod. As Naruto will begin to sit down, Hiruzen asks, what are you doing? That Mizuki is getting away. As Naruto says, he's entering Sage Mode, saying that it'll allow him to sense exactly where Mizuki is at. Or sense everything in the village, including Mizuki. As Hiruzen didn't really think that knew that Naruto had Sage Mode. He says, Jiraiya must have wanted to surprise me. Naruto says, I guess. As Naruto finally enters Sage Mode, he says, found him. Hiruzen says, now go. As Hiruzen enters his office and begins to use his little Hokage wizard bubble. Yes, I did call it a wizard bubble. And begins to spy on Naruto's progress with Mizuki. So eventually Naruto will catch up to Mizuki at the shack where originally Naruto was supposed to take the scroll. As Mizuki says, yes, Lord Orochimaru will really love this scroll. And I'll definitely be one of his top officers. As Naruto then clears his tongue, where do you think you're going? As Mizuki begins to stiffen, says someone's already found me. He turns around and begins to relax as it's only the Genin kid that graduated with Sasuke and Sakura. He says, Naruto, how are you? Naruto says, don't Naruto me. Hand over the scroll, now Mizuki. Mizuki smirks and grabs a shuriken and is about to throw when a kunai pierces his hands and pins it to the tree as Mizuki begins to scream out in pain. Naruto says, if you're going to attack me, now I definitely can kill you. A kill on sight order was given to you the moment you were spotted anyway, but I'm definitely going to enjoy this now. So Mizuki rips his hand out and then grabs the shuriken and throws it at Naruto, which Naruto disappears in a orange flash, which causing Mizuki's eyes to widen because the last time we seen that it was when he was on a when he was in the Genin team and the fourth Hokage had to come and save his Genin team. Or well, he wasn't really the fourth Hokage at the time, but yes. Wait, yeah, he was around the fourth Hokage at the time. And Naruto then, goes and, well, knocks Mizuki out. As he says, you know what? No. As Naruto begins to slap Mizuki, constantly slapping him for the next 5 minutes until Mizuki wakes up from the pain. Naruto says, I'm gonna make this terrible. Get up so we can fight. Mizuki says, you're giving me a vital chance. That's where most people underestimate me. As Mizuki tries to sweep Naruto off his legs, which Naruto will jump up and then kick Mizuki straight in the head. As Mizuki would feel the punch and would go back to hit Naruto, as Naruto will block it by swatting his hand away. It would then elbow Mizuki in the chest, caving his rib cage in, the center of it that connects it. He caved that in, or completely breaking it in half. As Mizuki begins to cough up blood from that, because some of the bone fragments had pierced his lungs and everything. As Naruto then goes and then elbows Mizuki in a like an uppercut elbow type thing. As Naruto then backhands Mizuki with his fist. You know how like Goku and Vegeta did that thing with the backhand? That. I couldn't really describe that if I wanted to. As Naruto would then flash towards Mizuki and say, Rasengan! He was slamming directly into Mizuki's gut. Or, effectively killing Mizuki with the kunai to the head after he hit Mizuki to the ground after the Rasengan has dissipated everything. A kunai to the head was what finished Mizuki off. As Naruto will grab the scroll and will check it for damage and will then disappear with Mizuki's body. Now Hiruzen will have Mizuki taken to Ibiki to find out anything from his mind since he no longer has any guard until, like a couple days later when it fully decays and loses every bit of information it has. As Hiruzen gives Naruto the rank of, gives Naruto a B-rank missions pay, along with congratulating him and saying that he'll definitely be promoted to most likely Jonin after this mission. That Mizuki was a high-ranking Chunin, and he just took him out there. So he'll thank Hiruzen, and would then disappear. So a couple weeks later, Naruto will tell Hiruzen when is the Chunin exams. As Hiruzen say, it's about 3 weeks away. Probably a month away. Says, can I go back on missions with my team right now? Hiruzen says, yeah, sure. I wasn't stopping you from doing that. Naruto says, thank you, old man. Hiruzen says, yeah. As Naruto begins to start his missions with his team again, and this is where I'm going to be ending off. What if Naruto got 6 past Sage Mode a lot earlier? Now, I know I haven't had Naruto use it in this one, and most of the video was taken up by him learning things. I'm so sorry about that. But we'll get into more exciting things like the Chunin exams in the next part. So, I'll see you guys later. Drip Kage out.